Welcome to Love, Lust, and Lies. I am your host, Ken Canion. And on today's show, we're going to talk about games, mind games that men play. And, women play these games too. So I just titled it Mind Games That Men Play because my audience for this show is primarily women. But I want you to be aware of when games are being played on you, and for those of you who play games, I'm hip to your games. So this could go either way: games that men play and games that women play. All right, so let's get started. So today's show, as I said before, is mind games that men play, and a lot of you play these games too. Mind games that women play. However, we're dealing with men today, so I want you to be aware of these games. And when you find yourself a participant in the game, you can choose to play or not to play. Choose to play or not to play. So we're going to talk about today games that they play, but more importantly, a lot of times insecure men, because these tactics and strategies that they use or that men use, that I've used before, because they get you a particular outcome. They get you a particular outcome, an outcome that you would like. Now, again, a lot of these, I say insecure because a lot of these many insecure men use them. Now, there are some secure men who use them as well, but, insecure men use them a great deal. Now, I will say this, as I said before, we are all insecure in some area in our life. It may not be in our relationship, it may not be our body, it may not be our career, but in some area of our lives, we all possess some insecurity. Now, the problem comes in when the insecurity that you possess is spilled over into the relationship that you have, and it is affecting someone else that you care about or supposedly care about. And so what we want to do is the whole idea of the training that we're doing is being able to understand and reflect on your own insecurities. But because many times we project on others what we feel in our own lives. So let's jump right in. I came up with 6 ways that men play mind games with ladies. And like I said, it could apply to women playing games with men. So I'm going to give you these 6. But number 1, let me start off why they play the games. They play the games because, number 1, as I said, they're insecure. Number 2, they want a particular outcome. And number 3, they want a level of control. We want a level of control, controlling someone else's behavior. We do. I've done it before in the past. Many of you have done it. But this is why people have done it. Why they do it, those 3 reasons. So let's get right into it. Number 1. The number 1 reason or the way that men play mind games is a term called gaslighting. Your President Trump does gaslighting quite a bit. It has nothing to do with political affiliation. It's just he does it because he's quite good at it. And I want to give you the definition of gaslighting. Gaslighting, according to Webster's dictionary, says gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which a person or a group covertly sows seeds of doubt to a targeted individual, making them question their own memory, perception, or judgment, often invoking them cognitive dissonance and other changes, including low self-esteem. So here's how it works. Let me give you an example. So you sit with your boo, right? Sit with your boo. You see a text that comes through. And the text that comes through is you see it's a female and you see she put some hearts on there. So he takes the phone away and says, you say, well, who's that female? You say, why are you tripping? You crazy. That wasn't no female. Oh, so now you want to blame me. So what he's doing is he's turning it around. He is flipping it on you. Okay. I used to be a flipper. My wife, she swear you are so good at flipping. And what we do is we'll use it and turn it around on you and begin to manipulate you to believe, to sow seeds of doubt on what you've seen or what you believe or what you think to be true or your memory. You're like, wait a minute, I did see that. I did see that chick reaching out to you. And he's like, no, you crazy. You didn't see that. After he's deleted it. So gaslighting is the idea of making you feel like you crazy. Making you feel like, wait a minute, that wasn't me. And so what happens is when somebody begins to gaslight, what you have to do is call them on it. Call them on the lie. Call them on the flipping. Call them on the deflecting. And say, wait a minute. No, here's what you're trying to do. You're trying to deflect. You're trying to flip it, and we're going to stay on subject because the reality is I know what I saw. I saw that, and no matter how many ways you say you did see it, you can lie about it, sure, but I know what I saw. And so now you alleviate the idea of the gaslighting, and you begin to talk about what's real and what's not, okay? What's real and what's not. Gaslighting, y'all, because what now? But the definition says it's a form of psychological manipulation in which a person sows seed of doubt in a targeted individual. Let me show you how your President Trump uses it. What he does is you'll hear something that he did, and something that, or like the deaths in the COVID, and he'll say, that's fake news. What he's trying to do is sow seeds in the doubt of his followers that, no, that's fake news. That's not real. That is not real. That is not what, that we don't have that many deaths because of Corona. So what he's doing is he's gaslighting, and men do it too. Women do it too. Y'all do it too. But I just want you to understand when you see it, that's the term for it. The second way that men play mind games with women, and this is powerful right here. Now, he abuses you physically. We ain't gonna even talk about that one, because when there's physical abuse involved, there's a problem. You need to go seek help. But a lot of times, the emotional, he abuses you physically, mentally, and emotionally. Okay, a lot of times, the mental and emotional abuse are not seen as readily as physical abuse. You know when someone hits you, that is physical, okay? That is physical. But emotional and mental abuse are sometimes covert, sometimes insidious, sometimes they're under the scene. And what happens is, how do you know you're being abused? And they use it to play mind games with you. I'll give you one. One way is the person makes you feel bad about who you are as a person. When someone tries to make you feel bad about who you are as a person, then that person is attempting to play mind games with you. They want to reduce your self-esteem to boost their self-esteem, to boost their value. If I lower your value and boost my value, then you become dependent on me. Then you become dependent on me validating you, affirming you, all of those things. So what happens is, here's how you know. When a person starts downing who you are as an individual, well, the truth is, you got a degree, or you got 2 degrees and they don't. You think you're better than everybody else, or they using you on that job, or why are you trying to be like the white man, or why are you trying to be white because you want to make yourself look better? Why do you want to wear makeup? Because you want to. What they're doing is they're trying to diminish your light. Melania and I talk about this all the time. Melania and I became partners. And one of the things she said to me, she said, I needed to have a partner who didn't try to diminish my light, because my light shined brighter than theirs. And so when me and her found each other, both of our lights shined bright, and they could shine bright simultaneously, and no one had to diminish the other person's light. And so when you're getting in a relationship with somebody else and they try to diminish your light, because that's a mind game that they're playing on you, okay? Another way that you know, I'm going to get into another way that you know, and it's going to be one of the ones I'm going to talk about later on, is when a person downplays your accomplishments. We're going to get into that later, but that's one as well. But whenever there's abuse, listen to me carefully. Whenever my late bishop used to say this. He said, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. He said, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. When you don't know the purpose of a relationship. And Milani says this all the time. She says the purpose of a relationship is to grow and to heal. Two things. Now think about it, y'all. Any relationship you're ever in, that relationship, if it's not helping you grow or helping you heal in some area of your life, then that relationship has become toxic. And what you want to do is you want to think about leaving the relationship or at least addressing it so that you can heal or cure what's wrong. Because a lot of couples, they go into a relationship for so long and then they don't want to heal it. They don't want to cure it. They just let the status quo just continue to happen. And the relationship continues to dissipate. And before you know it, it's gone. It's done. And you're wondering, wow, how did that happen? How did we end up here? And the truth of the matter is because you didn't address it. You didn't address it a long time ago. Okay? Number 3. Mind games that men play. And women. I got to say that today because y'all, I've seen women play just as many games. But I'm just telling you about the games today. Number 3, the guilt trip game. The guilt trip game. So let me show you the guilt trip game. The guilt trip game goes kind of like this. A person wants to guilt you into believing that a particular behavior or action you have done is wrong. I saw it last night, y'all. My wife and I, we watched this show together. Now, the crazy thing about my wife and I, we have the same values in a lot of areas of our life. But y'all know we hate watching the same kind of movie shows. Ooh, I can't stand watching, shows that she like, comedy. She's a comedian, love comedies, love Tyler Perry joints. Nothing against Tyler Perry joints. I just don't like them. I like action, thrillers, kill them up. I mean, suspense. Did they get their head chopped off? That's what I want to see. Now, but when we find a show that we like together, we like to watch it together. So one of our shows last night is 90 Day Fiance. We watched that together. And so they're in the finale last night. And we've been watching it all season. It's our time to get together and to look at this show. So we were watching it last night and I said, wow, one of the girls, there were 2 ladies in a relationship. And they were going over their relationship, and one lady attempted to I saw the mind game when she was playing with the other one, and she was guilting her, and she said, well, you didn't know about me. You didn't read my social media posts or look at my videos, because if you had looked at my videos, you wouldn't have been doing that. I said, what the hell? Because she said, I didn't look at all your videos. How come you didn't tell me these things? Well, you should have known by looking at my videos, or you should have known by all of the posts I was putting up. And I thought to myself, wow, she is manipulating the situation, turning it around, playing a mind game, making the other person feel like they're at fault because they didn't look at her social media videos. And when the lady went to Australia to be with this particular girl, 2 girls, she said, I realized when we got there we weren't compatible because this crazy one kept throwing stuff and breaking stuff. And she was the one that was turning it around on the other one. The other one felt so flustered, she just started crying. It's like, I can't get my point out. And I said, wow, she did the typical dude thing. That turned it around, guilt tripped her because she didn't look at her videos. What she was doing was justifying her behavior because of lack of behavior from someone else. Now, when somebody does that, they're playing a mind game. And what I would have done, I would have said, you know what? The truth is, I don't care what you say. You didn't tell me. You deceived me, and I didn't have to look at your video. I had the person here. How come you didn't tell me as a person? And the truth is, because you didn't tell me, it meant that you were trying to hide something from me. You cannot let them deflect. You have to bring it back into the subject that we're talking about. No, No, I am not responsible for looking at all of your videos. That was not a requirement that you made or that I made. The requirement was we be honest with each other, and you were not honest. And I was like, dang. I couldn't coach you because I wasn't nowhere around. I was there with my baby. We was looking at it, other than that, but I saw it. Guilt trip. Number 4. Games that men play. I wrote this one down. Projecting his own insecurities onto you. Now, women do this as well. They project their own insecurities. So, how many times have you told your guy, or he told you, I don't want you to go out with your friends. I want you to go out. Why you ain't go out with your friends? How come I can't go with you? Well, you and your girls going out. Well, can I go? No, it's just me and the girls. Or the guys do the same thing. You might be like, well, can I go out? No, it's just me and the cats. So we fellas hanging out. We're going to the cigar bar. And no women there. It's just us. Well, I want to go with you. How come I can't go with you? Well, what's happening is, well, who you going to meet? Who going to be there? How many women are there? What y'all talking about? And what happens is, whenever that occurs, what that simply means is the person is projecting their own insecurities on you. And what you do is you want to call that out. You want to say, hey, listen, sounds like to me, here's what I believe. It sounds like you are insecure, or not, I wouldn't use the word insecure. It sounds like you have issues with me doing this. Let's discuss why. Let's discuss why you have these issues. And then you can bring it back to maybe that's the issue they're feeling because they had an experience in the past, or someone they dealt with in the past did something like that. And because they did something like that, it's still in my head. I have not healed from it. A lot of times the past trauma that we bring into relationships, and it's projected in the relationships that are new relationships, and the relationship can't move further because we're projecting something from the past. It's like an anchor, y'all. It's like an anchor we're toting into a new relationship, and we're forcing the other person to carry the anchor with them based on what's happened to us in the past. And so we have to be willing to address the anchor. We have to be willing to address the hurt, the pain, the limiting beliefs, because if we're not willing to address it, then that person is going to continue to project that. And let's work through that as a couple, y'all. Let's work through that. Now, some guys are doing it or are doing these things because they're insecure. Some ladies are doing it because they're insecure. But the truth of the matter is, it's a mind game that is played on another individual because of something that we feel. Okay? Number five, yeah. He uses jealousy to get a reaction out of you. He uses jealousy to get a reaction. And women do this too now. I'm just talking about men. Women do this too. It's a form of a mind game when you say, hey, you know what, such and such like me, or yeah, such and such inbox me, and you know that you're trying to solicit a reaction from someone else. So what you're doing is you're using the emotion of jealousy. Y'all, that's a slippery slope. That's a slippery slope. There's a tangled web you weave. Be careful of using jealousy. Because the very sword you use to wield, the sword you wield in jealousy will be the same sword that you fall on. The same sword that kills your ass. Because jealousy is a powerful thing. And so when you try to use it, because what we don't know is, because think about it, y'all, people have died because of jealousy, because of that emotion. People have been killed because of jealousy. So I always tell people, be careful about that. Do not use that. Is something, that is something I would not do. I would not use jealousy. If you're going to use jealousy to find out how a person feels, then that's a problem in and of itself. The last thing, how you know mind games that men play is he downplays your success or accomplishments. This is a powerful one because if you're with somebody who downplays your success, they downplay your accomplishments. Oh, that ain't nothing. Oh, that doesn't mean anything. So what, you got promoted? So what, you got accepted? I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it as, once you get accepted, people going to judge you because you're going to be making more money. If you buy that car, everybody going to be like wanting to borrow money. Everybody going to be judging you. People are not going to like you. Whenever you have anybody, not just a romantic relationship, but whenever you're in a relationship, be it friends, be it whatever, with someone who downplays your accomplishments, then that person is toxic to your life. And many times the reason they downplay it is because it reminds them of what they're not doing. It reminds them of what they're not doing. They're jealous. Because the truth of the matter is, y'all, I am so excited when my friends accomplish something. When they get a new crib, one of my friends is gonna build a new crib, $800,000, and one of my other partners is gonna buy $700,000. I'm so excited for them. I'm excited because I realize that wealth or money is in abundance. There is no limitation. The only limitation we have is the limitation we put on it. You know what? When they have a good relationship, do not get upset about their relationship because there's enough to go around. That's abundance, y'all. Stop it. Celebrate those who have what you desire, because that's going to raise your vibrational frequency to get it too. So our rule of thumb in my household is my wife, y'all, she's been a comedian for many years. I never forget it. She celebrates all comedians. A comedian can be terrible. We go see them perform. Nobody will really clap for them, but she'll stand up and act like they gave the greatest performance. And I used to be like, why are you doing that? And she said something profound to me. She said, I celebrate out of my own need. And I was like, what? She said, I celebrate them out of my own need. She says, I have a need for people to celebrate me when I'm on stage. I have a need for people to hire me, for people to buy my gifts, buy books and stuff. And so she'll buy their tapes, everything. So when we go somewhere, I buy people's books. I buy their tapes. I buy anything somebody's got. Matter of fact, Milani just turned me on to a site of black businesses. I'm about to go and buy some coffee from this black little kid. Him and his mama started this coffee company. I'm buying some coffee today, y'all, because I celebrate them. And y'all, raise your vibrational frequency by celebrating others. I'm your man, Ken Canion, the host of Love, Lust, and Lies. And until tomorrow, y'all have a great day.